Thank you, Eliud. Thank you, Cyril and Rono and Dr. Imbunya. Chairpersons of the institutions that are present here, chief executive officers of different parastatals, public officers that are with us, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I hope it is still morning. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I want to give special recognition to men and women who have worked in various institutions in different capacities. Some have been speakers, some have been governors, some have been PSS, some have been members of parliament, some are bishops. Some are long-serving public servants. Where are the former speakers who are here? I saw one, Ekwe. Ekwe is here. Clap for Ekwe Weturo. He has been a speaker. And now he's the chairman of Higher Education Loans Board. I hope I can still remember. The governors present may they stand up. I saw Mrutu, I saw Dado, I saw Kiptis, I saw Ragwa, I can see Kidero here. I saw Kiraitu Murungi there. Clap for them. I see Langanyapuo. We have quite a number of former governors present, Your Excellencies. PSS that have served before. Sima Abub is here. We have one way is Ismail. I can see that is Maina Cyrus there. Makofi Kwao. Members of parliament that are here. Former members of parliament. You can see Olago, Chansu. I don't know what are your names. Agoi is there. Nyambati and somebody there. Akofi Kwao. Their bishops don't retire. They are bishops who must be here. We have Bishop Mairori there. We have Bishop who? The Uri of Adak. KNLS, and there is one from Adak, Chair, Makofi Kwao. So you see we are full house. We have all the skills, right from the spiritual end to the top corporate leadership. And therefore, we are in a good position to take off as a country. So we meet this afternoon for a consultative engagement of high national importance. This meeting, the first of its kind, focusing on government-owned entities and executive agencies, goes beyond a routine and a ceremonial convening. It is a deliberate, strategic, and results-oriented interventions in our continuing journey towards a public service that is efficient, accountable, and fully aligned to the governance renewal agenda of this administration. The leadership represented in this room forms the operational backbone of government. You are the institutions through which the state is felt, seen, experienced, and judged by citizens. And that is why when the citizens say, Serikali haifanyi kazi, it is you. Because that is where the state is felt, that is where the state is seen, That is where the state is experienced, and that is where the state is just judged by the citizens. Whether online, at service counters, or in field operations, you are the human and institutional face of government. The performance of each entity represented here is, in truth, the performance of government itself. Across the breadth of our public institutions, the evidence gathered from the self-assessment tool administered by my office revealed both commendable progress and persistent weaknesses. The exercise was not intended to indict, but to illuminate and provide a factual mirror through which we may confront the realities of our governance architecture. We continue to encounter recurring governance challenges that cut across sector ranging. One is delays in decision making and unresponsiveness to the needs of citizens, significant financial losses, prolonged turnaround times to public inquiries, and the persistent failure to resolve complaints effectively. These gaps undermine and erode institutional credibility. It obstructs the full realization of our national development aspirations and also have understandably eroded public trust and confidence. Aside from undertaking numerous reform initiatives such as the launch of the Zero-Fault Audit Program, which promotes the prudent, effective use and management of public resources, and the focused efforts to improve institutional performance through prompt corrective action and the administration of lawful and proportionate consequences for infractions in the public service, it has become necessary to introduce a targeted program for our corporations. It is for this reason that government has developed a comprehensive program for revitalizing and re-energizing government-owned enterprises and executive agencies, such as was successfully implemented for regulatory authorities and agencies. That early intervention, which targeted regulatory agencies, has already begun to yield visible fruits, and we can see improvements in compliance, operational performance, and responsiveness, demonstrating that focused reform and disciplined oversight deliver tangible results. I want to say that we have seen truly so an improvement in the regulatory space. Institutions like NEMA now are working fearlessly. Institutions like NCA, National Construction Authority, we can see that they are working without any fear. Institutions like NACADA, can see them moving swiftly to take charge and bring order in their space. We are seeing fruits of these engagements. So we are done with RAS, it is now rolling, and that is why we are now with government-owned enterprises that are commercial in nature, and also institutions that are departments in government called executive agencies that provide services. We are talking about institutions like immigration, institutions like NTSA, institutions like National Registration Bureau, and others that have direct citizen interface with government. That is the focus that we have, because that is where the citizens gauge government, the citizens comment about government because of service delivery that these institutions always does. So central to this program is the imperative of premier service delivery to Kenyans. We want to see a service, public service delivery at that level of corporate. There is nothing that stops us from service delivery equivalent to Safaricom, for example, with banks, for example. It may not even need money, but perhaps it requires change of attitude, focus, proper oversight, and also putting in place mechanisms that are self-regulating and makes everybody work towards offering premier service. So it is not about money that we need to start from the resources that we have. We are starting from zero. We want to start from the resources. What are you going to do as we live here today with your staff down there? How do you reorganize them to serve the people well? How do you cut costs, unnecessary costs? How do you do the reporting in a proper manner? How do you project the image of your institution and by extension government so that the people can say, yes, the government is performing? Simply put, we may need not have to run to Treasury now. We may run to Treasury later. So that is what we feel is the way to go as we are beginning this journey of turning around the image of government, starting from yourselves. So service delivery must be the defining measure of government effectiveness and the foundation of public trust. Every resource, every decision, and every action under this program must ultimately translate into tangible benefits for citizens. We all know that executive agencies are the state corporation through which the government delivers services directly or indirectly to the public. You are the human and institutional face of government, whether citizens meet you at service counters, through digital platforms, or in the field. The experience that citizens have with you or with your institutions shapes their perceptions of government as a whole. Yet, we continue to see practices that make our nation appear as a typical third world country, even as we aspire to move towards a developed nation, as the President has always emphasized. So what we are saying is simple, ladies and gentlemen. There has been, and you can observe, all of you are customers of one of the other institution. You walk there, you get shocked. People even don't care to even understand what you want. People are busy eating mandazis in their rooms, in their cubicles, while people are queuing. There is no human feel in these customers. People don't bother. You can, the service providers like Kenya Power and other institutions, one may call 10 times saying, my power is down, the pole that is near my place is down. They tell you they're coming tomorrow at 10. They don't know whether you have a sick person in the house who needs a fridge to keep some medicines that should be under 0 degrees that can be injected perhaps every 3-4 hours. They don't give a damn. What we are saying is that the citizen is the king. We need to be responsive and we need to act with the resources that we have now before we go looking for more resources. So across the sectors where executive agencies operate, there are recurring failures that compromise the citizens' experiences of government services. This is good but not limited to. Number one is excessive queues at service points, causing unnecessary delays and frustration. System breakdowns or downtime that prevent citizens from accessing online or digital services. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure, we put in a lot of money to come up with technology. But people don't service it. Sometimes even the people don't attend to it. And sometimes even people are reluctant even to learn on how to use. So it becomes zero-sum. Others are resisting it because it creates more transparent than before. These are simple things that we are talking about. We are not talking about complicated things. The other issue is years-long delays in receiving feedback or documents that citizens have already paid for. Even feedback alone You send whatever, if it is ETZ or whatever, there is no reply. There is no even automatic generated something that says, just wait, in an hour's time, you'll be attended to. Nothing. You write a letter, it takes forever. There is no response. You send an email, nobody responds, whether positive or negative. These are the things that we are talking about. We want to change and we become responsive. We have not been offering timely alternatives or solutions. If what the citizen wants is not possible, have you given them an alternative? You know that is the issue. Have you given them a solution of some sort, even if it is at his cost? So you find that lack of timely alternatives or solutions when problems arise leave citizens without any recourse. That is why people can even walk out and demonstrate. People become angry, and if you ask them what is the problem, they don't even know exactly what it is, because they have been disappointed so many times that they are just angry. They want to fight somebody. They want to break some window. They want to paralyze something because of frustration that people have. It is a serious matter. Sometimes you see demonstrations here, uprisings, violence. If you really sit down and try to drill, to get to understand, it may not be big things. It may be these frustrations here and there. Even if you go to a roundabout, the policeman stops you for inordinately long time, 5-7 minutes, and he's on phone. He has forgotten that he has stopped one side for that long, and there's nothing you can do. People get frustrated, they get annoyed, they transfer even their madness to their offices. So these are the things that we are saying we need to change. It does not require any money. It has to change. Another thing is inadequate communication about processes. People don't understand. They don't even know timelines. They don't even know requirements that is needed for the service to be completed. They are not even aware. So the elite citizens are uninformed. And every time when we are out there, especially politicians, they say, nyinyi ndio wadosi wetu. And yet they are not getting anything. They not get even any information. What do they expect them to do? To be angry. To hate government. To hate the institution. And to demand for alternative solutions that sometimes they always demand violently. So let us go back and offer citizen-centric services. Let us behave and work around our citizens so that they get value for money and they get their services quick as possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, these failures are unacceptable. Executive agencies must demonstrate responsiveness, and we are asking responsiveness. They must demonstrate efficiency and accountability in every interaction, ensuring that citizens experience government as capable, professional, and service-oriented. That is what a citizen expects. If he walks to your institution, he needs to leave saying, I did not get what I wanted, but these people are capable, they are professional, and they are service-oriented. They are not their bosses. They are not bossy. They don't disappear. They are there to confront the challenges that the citizens is bringing. Therefore, your core mandate is to provide services that are timely, efficient, and responsive to the needs of Kenyans. You must therefore communicate proactively with the public, informing them of what is happening within your space and offering practical alternatives whenever challenges or constraints arise. Silence or lack of information is no longer acceptable. Citizens must be aware and engaged in the processes that affects them. If your system is down, why don't you issue an alert? Simply put, why don't you put 411? How much is it? Why don't you just send to a media house to say, our services are down, in 2 hours we shall be up. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Simply put. If students apply for help, if you don't have money from a checker, you say, we are processing resources, we are waiting, give us 2 weeks. Is it difficult? Does it require money? So the public service has been degenerating until they don't care attitude. They don't mind, they work for salary. So long as the salary is still coming, they don't bother. They have forgotten their boss, they have forgotten the citizen that they are serving. What we are saying, let us go back and do what we were expected to do. Following that, we need also to ask ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, why were our institutions created? Because when Parliament passes a bill, or when executive generates a bill to create an institution, they have justification. There's a gap they need to fill. So if you are not filling that gap, whom are you expecting to fill that gap? So these are the issues that we are saying, and we are saying, all of us, if we resolve today and say, let us go and turn around our institutions, only attitude, we shall change the perception and we shall instill confidence in the people that we are serving. Financial and operational accountability must be visible, auditable, and demonstrable. That is why when we say EGP, people resist, because they want processes that are not visible, that are not auditable, and not demonstrable. They want to receive some goods from a supplier, and then they start backdating the tender, they backdate the LPO, many terrible things. Every resource entrusted to you must be tracked and applied in ways that strengthen service delivery. That is what we are saying. The Auditor General opinion must reflect prudent and lawful use of public resources. Internal mechanisms must exist to monitor performance, ensure compliance, and correct deviations. Internal mechanisms, the board, what is it doing? The audit committee, what is its role? The internal audit, what is the head of procurement doing? Is he oversighting and making sure things are correct? The whole ecosystem in the institution should function, and we shall have a seamless service delivery that Kenyans will not complain at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, executive agency must remain citizen-focused above all. While internal revenue generation is encouraged where appropriate, it must always support and enhance your primary public service mandate, not distract from it. Your success will be measured by the quality, accessibility, and the impact of services provided to the public. Ultimately, every executive agency must be seen, experienced, must be seen. You must be seen. People should even talk about you. They know you, that you are a good institution, you offer services. You must be seen as an experienced institution. Your staff should be people who understand their staff. And you must be seen to be recognizing citizens. And also citizens at the same time must see you as responsive, as capable, and also service-oriented, reflecting the professionalism and integrity of government in every interaction. Simply put, nothing much. For government-owned enterprises, we expect them to operate, because you're operating in a commercial and productive domain of the state. We expect you to operate, behave, act, have a posture of a commercial entity. And former governor say that we have tied them. We let them free. We agree, we free you. The problem that when you are let and given freedom, you go and steal and run down institutions. That's the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, and you have worked in governments, governors are here, CEOs are here, and everybody. There is no issuance of a memo or a circular with no other reason. When you are told, don't do this, it has been reviewed, analyzed that there is a lot of challenges here. So block them, because they are no longer human beings, they are like goats, so you need to put some barrier, because now they are no longer using their common sense. That is why there are so many circulars, because people have decided not to work, but to plunder and to mess up government resources. Unfortunately so. And they are very bold. Some of them are here, very bold. They even backdated the board meeting dates, forgetting that we have an inspector in the office and we have intelligence in this country. Some even sent minutes to former chairman, so that the resolution seems to have been done last year. Of course at a cost, because the chairman there at home will say nitasaini namna gani sasa nitapata nini. These things happen. So I'm saying the truth. For those who have even gone to Minister of Lands, perhaps they want to transfer land that he has bought legitimately. So ukifika huko unaambiwa iko mara mbili, unataka kungojea board ya next board ni February, lakini kuna njia nyingine, ukilipa hii utapata tu saa hii. And then what do? They want backdate and insert in between some minutes, and they share the money. That is avoiding efficiency. That is shocking. You just avoid. You don't want to be efficient, so you create some alternative ways of sorting it out, and that is what breeds corruption. So, commercial entities, you are the custodians of public capital, and your performance directly affects national productivity, employment, and fiscal stability. And you know that your mission is sustainability and profitability. You must use your wherewithal and ingenuity to increase revenues. In these monopolies, why can't you do it? Why do you post losses? So going forward, we need to see demonstrable profitability. You must adopt best practices in corporate governance, commercial strategy, and operations, benchmark against peers. Deploy modern management techniques and pursue innovative revenue streams that are consistent with your mandate. Operate with the discipline of the market and the integrity of the public sector. Those days, KenGen had reached a level, KenGen, Kenya Power, Kenya Re, Kenya Pipeline, they were blue chip 15, 20 years ago. Isn't it so? Where are they now? They transact. You get their managers transacting business along the streets. They were blue chip. You could walk to Kenya Pipeline and you will not believe that it was a government institution. Same case to these others. But where are they now? Going down. Kenya D is almost closing. It's because of corruption, because of incompetence, and many other things that we want us, all of us, to change. It's also evident that some government-owned entities are laden with debt and have incurred consistent financial losses, even in sectors where they operate as monopolies, as I've said, or oligopolies. To a large extent, this is a reflection of institutional failure, unwillingness to innovate, reliance on archaic practices, and resistance to necessary change. In other cases, these losses are a direct consequences of greed and corruption, which ultimately stifle the institution's ability to fulfill their mandate and deliver value to the public. Such outcomes are unacceptable and must be addressed decisively. And also one must ask, and you need to ask yourself, why is it that some institutions operating at par with government-owned entities or in comparable sectors are generating profits while certain GOEs continue to fail in revenue generation? Why, you ask yourself. And that brings me to Honorable Kiraitu Murungi's institution. It was among the blue chip, if you can remember, National Oil. But when they started being influenced to put petrol station in areas, even the vehicles, where the vehicles don't pass, it's only pikipikis, and investing 40 million in a petrol station that nobody comes. Politicians coming there and influencing them to go and construct a petrol station for them in some corner for purposes of having a posture in the constituency for more votes. There are no vehicles. What do you expect? I mean, the overheads totally outweighs the revenue. So, issues of weak management, lack of innovation, resistance to change, and in some cases greed and corruption is what we are seeing. So you must learn how to improve these things. So, as I wind up, ladies and gentlemen, the President has spoken. He has said, you have been let free to run the institutions that you are running. And there are no sacred cows in your institution. You have to straighten the boards. You have to take charge. The management, you have to take charge. If somebody is misusing resources in your institution, take action. If vacancies arises and you want to employ the best, get the best brains. Get the brains that will come and help the institution. Not a relative, not a tribesman, not a potential chief campaigner for you back at home. You hire somebody who will come and bring a difference in the institution. And it is very clear now that we are now heading to transformation. And we want all of us to be in that ship. We want all of us to be part of this process. We want all of us to support government in transforming this country. And I always say, government is us here. There is no any other government. We want all of you, first of all, to play and operate according to the laws that established you. In full, apply it in full. Look at the circulars, look at the manuals. the statutes and operate in a manner that was provided for, first of all. Before even you ask for additional space, let us make these institutions efficient. Let us make the citizens be satisfied with the services we are offering. Let us also ensure that we take this privilege of being in offices that we have now to make a difference. Yeah, at least. That is why we called you here. That, ladies and gentlemen, let us work together. Let us move. We've complained of inefficiencies. We've complained of corruption. We've complained of several infractions. I think the government has laid it bare. We are starting to do cleanup, and I would want the board to take charge. Anybody who is not operating in line with the requirements of the institution has to be separated. We have started. We have invited several CEOs to resign, and they have resigned. We are continuing to invite. We have disbanded boards. We have done our best. We came up with the terms of and conditions of service for you people. Somebody rushed to court. Because we understand that there are certain things that we need to do for people to settle and also apply their minds fully. We are not going to relent. We are going to pursue the matter in the Court of Appeal to see whether we can salvage the document which was bringing up the oversight bodies in a position that they were able to do it. But otherwise, I want us to go back to our institutions. First, when we reach home, we must prioritize discussions on enhancing the visibility of our mandates as per the established statutes, ensuring clarity and transparency in the mandates of your institution. Let even the staff, let even the board members, sometimes board members just arrive and they don't, up to now, they have done 2-3 years and they don't even understand the mandate of their institutions. When they are in Naivasha with Ndemuli, all what they want sometimes, they want only the per diem and that is all. So let us understand first, why are we here? Why do we have NOC? Why do we have Wujuan? So what is the mandate? From there, I'm sure you will now try to draw a roadmap. Let us scrutinize the governance structures within our institutions to uphold principles of accountability and integrity. Let's see the governance structure. If we don't understand what is governance structure, let us call Waru here, Ndemuli, even Attorney General, to take you through to understand what are governance structures around an institution. So that we uphold accountability and integrity in the system. Let us understand what we have first. And let us refine what we have. More important, let us foster meaningful engagement with members of the public. Let us be seen. Let us be felt. Let the citizens know that you are there. And let us engage them. It is a lot useful to engage the citizens that we are serving in furtherance of our service to them. Finally, let us share best practices through peer learning. And we have an experience. When we brought all the regulatory authorities together, they started talking, and we can see improvement all over, and they communicate. What do we do like here? What do we do in the other side? How do we, and we are seeing a lot of traction. Let us be one as GOEs be one as executive agencies, and let us share best practices and improve the service delivery at your place. So we want you to get back to real work, ladies and gentlemen. Refresh yourself with the law, the powers you hold, the organization you have, and deliver on your mandate without further reference. Divest your priorities from all other distractions that seem to have taken over your time when the citizens that you are supposed to serve are suffering. You have the law to support your actions. Where the law has created challenges, bring them to the attention of your peers, legislative and parliamentary affairs, legislative and parliamentary affairs, through, of course, your line ministry, and let them be sorted. In the meantime, where you have overlaps, please synergize. Plan together, budget together, prepare work plans together, execute together, monitor, and report together. Ladies and gentlemen, we must shift from our comfort zones. We cannot be subservient to a legacy or a tradition that negatively affects transformation. The time for action is now. We must shake things up, eliminate lethargy, and start seeing results immediately. These are called to leadership, discipline, and unwavering commitment, because the citizens of Kenya deserves nothing less. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing the fruits of the continued implementation of these worthy initiatives. And therefore, as I close, people are wondering, why do we have so many engagements? First of all, we were trying to comply with the Constitution. The issue of public participation. Not that it is difficult for us to act, but we thought, let us have an engagement. And as we stand here, I think my office has engaged close to 300,000 public servants. We always have every week virtual meetings. Virtual meetings every other time for people to understand what it is that the government needs to do and what are the consequences. That is why we came up with lawful consequences. We are asking people, if you are punished, don't blame anybody, because every infraction has a consequence. So number one is to comply with the Constitution. Number two is to sensitize and capacity build ourselves and encourage ourselves and instill confidence in yourselves that it is not going to be a space where political interference on governance system will be tolerated. It is you to make a decision to do the right thing. No one, I repeat, no one will punish you for doing the right thing. No one. The president is very clear that let people do their job and let this country move forward. So let us remember that if institutions within the public service work, Kenya will definitely work. So let me end there. Thanking you very much for coming, and let us go back home ready and charged to work. Thank you.
Well, we are upstanding with the permission of the Chief of Staff and the Head of Public Service. I'd request Bishop Stephen Mairuri to come and make a closing prayer. Karibu, Bishop.
Right, let's all pray. Heavenly Father, we are indeed very grateful. Thank you for this fruitful day. Thank you for the Head of Public Service and all the leaders present and the deliberations that we've had. We commit the government-owned entities and the executive agencies to your hands, that, Lord, you will bless and prosper their efforts. We are very grateful for this nation that you've given us. And Lord, it is your desire that your people are blessed through their services. And so we do pray that you'll take what we have deliberated and bless it so that, Lord, this nation will be fruitful. We thank you for today, and now as we dismiss us with your blessings, as you bless our president as he leads this nation. For it is in Christ's name I pray, and God's people said, thank you very much.